Yo, so bad.
Yo, greatest Bollywood intro of
Oh,
all
shit.
time. Yes.
And for the record, my mic was muted that whole time. What the fuck?
Oh, man.
Yo, it took me like 4 hours to figure out how to do all this stuff and like After Effects. I'm like, it's finally done, and I was so happy that I'm rendering right now. And then I went into Pinnacle to add like the music and everything like that, and then I render that, and then I go to watch it. I'm like, there's 8 freaking typos in this goddamn intro video. So good. Oh.
You were breathing throughout the whole video.
That
and
wasn't
then, like,
me. I had my mic muted, bro.
someone
Anyways,
was breathing through it.
It was Maddie, dude. Maddie got so excited
What
over
the-
that
it wasn't
intro
me. I
video.
muted
I
my
was
shit.
trying not to laugh so hard.
Anyways,
Patty, dude.
welcome
I
to
muted my
episode
mic.
2 of Mid or Feed. Joining me today is 4 of the 5 members of the Reason Gaming roster. We've got Wolfie 2032, otherwise known as Justin Colon. We have Kevin, who's Hero GG, Matty Pocket rocking the Ash Ketchum hat, and everyone's most favorite derp mid, Las Cis. Hey! Hi guys! What's going on, guys? How's everyone doing? All right?
Doing good.
That's awesome.
Great.
Well, at
Doing
6:30,
great.
we're going to have the director of Smite for the WOGL join us and explain the rules of Season 1 for WOGL Smite. But until then, we're just going to kick it off and talk about esports in general. We were kind of talking about the League of Legends tournament, a $2 million tournament for League of Legends. Now, we're definitely Smite. We're all Smite players, and we definitely want to help Smite grow. But anything that helps esports grow is going to help Smite in general as it grows and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. What do you guys think about a $2 million tournament?
I think it's bad because how do they top that? You know, they got to keep on upping that.
Yeah. Well,
So I think it's bad.
what was it for Season 1?
1 million.
No.
1 million.
Was it 1
Was it
million?
1 million?
So it's
I didn't-
doubled?
Yeah, it was 1 million.
I didn't think it was that much.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah, it
$1
was
million. And like Dota, like the month before, I think Season 1 finals, Dota had a $1 million prize tournament when that game was still in beta, Dota 2. That was at like Eurogamer or somewhere, something like that, which is pretty crazy. And you're right, that is setting the bar really, really high. But, I mean, isn't that going to promote growth within esports as well? Isn't it going to be like, telling all these companies, look, throw money at games, people are watching, there's potential for revenue here? I mean, there's got to be some good you can take out of that.
There's a lot of good. I mean, it sets the bar, but they just have to keep on upping in that, and, if it ever dies out, then whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see. Like, and I don't feel like, I feel like Smite is going to be the future of esports, at least within MOBAs. But, at the same time, League of Legends isn't going anywhere. It's going to be like the World of Warcraft of MOBAs. There's still going to be people there. There's still going to be tournaments. There's still going to be patches and new gods and stuff like that. But I feel like people are ready for a change in the little niche MOBA side of esports. Do you guys think right now that Smite can be the change that the people are looking for?
I don't know, that's a pretty bold statement, man. I think a lot of the reason people like League of Legends is, oh god, please don't scold me for this. It's so noob friendly.
Yeah.
For example, you take an original MMO such as EverQuest or Ultima Online, etc., like that, and then you bring out World of Warcraft. The reason people like it and play it a ton is because it's so newbie friendly. Granted, there are those hardcore players which make the game more interesting, but this unfortunately is just going to be always on top, man.
No, I can understand that. You're right. That's why WoW got so popular, because it was very noob-friendly. Wolfie, what do you think, man?
I personally think that's why Smite will do well, because Smite is very friendly. It is very easy to join into the game. I think Smite took the hardest thing about MOBAs and made it very easy to understand. The hardest thing about MOBAs is the items. It's very easy to learn about items in Smite. You can just go, oh, hey, this item gives damage, and it doesn't take item 1, 2, and 3 to make. No, you just go from level 1 to 2 to 3. It's easy to understand.
Right.
The abilities and stuff aren't the hard part. It's really learning what to buy and what not to buy. Everything else just comes naturally after a while. I felt like, especially in Dota, the big hurdle was learning the store. That store sucked. I hated Dota's store and I hated Han's store. It's about the main reason I liked League so much.
I could see that. Hero, your thoughts on Smite breaking into the esports industry?
I think Smite, as long as I think Hi-Rez needs to put the money into Smite and forget about every other game that they got right now. And I think that once they do that, it'll be above Han, and it'll just have to coexist with games like Dota 2 and League.
I gotcha.
And I think it'll do that just fine.
Makes sense, dude. No, like I could see that happening as well. It's definitely logical. Maddie, what are your thoughts, dude?
Yeah, I agree 100% with Hero. They just need to put all their eggs in one basket and just straight go for it. Like the game is, like you guys said, it's a new touch to MOBAs. So, of course, I have high hopes. We just take them one step at a time.
No, I agree with all of you, to some extent. I mean, look at WoW. Like WoW players, I hate to use MMO as an example, but WoW players they're begging for something new. And you had Star Wars Online come out, and you had 1 million people, playing that in the first week, and they're like, oh well, you know what, this game is bad. And then with League of Legends, I think it's kind of the same thing that's going to be with Smite. They'd be like, oh my God, there's a new mode to play. It's different perspective. You got skill shots. This looks really exciting. I think the first impression that players coming over from LoL, Dota, Dota 2, Heroes of Newerth get from Smite is really what's going to make or break this game. If they can get a good first impression when we get closer to retail, and they can decide to keep on playing, and they have fun playing, and they enjoy the game, and they realize that the skill level might be slightly higher to play, we might see more teams migrate. If we see more teams migrate, then the game's got a decent shot at breaking into the mainstream and the westernized esports world. Kind of on that same note, do you guys feel like Hi-Rez should really start putting some effort into Easternizing Smite? Should they start bringing it to maybe gaming conventions over in Korea, Japan, China, so on and so forth? Do you think that'll help get the game where we want it to belong?
Not yet.
Not yet?
I don't think. I think it's too early to do that. I think that Hi-Rez needs to make their mistakes first. I think. Problem with us right now is that we've seen League, we've seen the big games, we want all this stuff, and we want Smite to be there right now. But Hi-Rez never made a mobile before.
Mm-hmm.
This is their first time. This is their first game, and they literally need to make all their mistakes now before they go into the big leagues. They need to find out how. They need to mess up gods. They need to mess up the metas. They need to release broken items, broken characters. They need to mess everything up right now, and then once we do get in the spotlight, that's when they need to do everything right. That's when they need to focus on getting it global and all the other stuff. And just use it right now as a test, basically. That's what it is. It's a test. It's a beta.
I gotcha. Cool. Hero?
Honestly, around 6 months down the road after it's released, I think they should start looking into Korea, because Korea brings so much popularity to a game, and once you have Koreans on board, then the competitive scene will just keep on growing, and honestly, that's what we need.
I gotcha.
So,
Maddie?
Oh, well, of course I think advertising and social media would help the game grow in general,
Mm-hmm.
But like Wolfie said, you don't want to just jump ahead and go from this to that right away. They need to work on the game, and they need to break things and fix things, and I guess that's pretty much about it.
Drew?
Well, first off, I'd like to start off by saying, Hero, you are beautiful. I haven't gotten that out yet.
thank you, baby.
As far as bringing the game globally, not yet. Keep it how it is right now. So you got US guys, you got Europe guys. Keep it simple and small, and keep capitalizing on their mistakes. Like they're hopefully learning and taking the input from players and make the game better before they make it such a global game where people are just like, oh, well, this game's poopy. I'm not even gonna bother. It's like a first impression base. Like if you send it over to Korea or something like that, and they hate it right off the bat, see you later.
Yeah. Well. I understand, you guys' point of view, but I kind of look at it differently. Would you guys agree that some of the best gamers in the world are Korean?
Yeah.
And don't you feel like what's going to dictate Smite's popularity is high-level play? It's going to be competitive play, right? While the game is in beta, wouldn't you want some of the best gamers in the world to give you their feedback?
No, because I want to win.
Well said.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem with that whole situation. High res is limited on cache, and if they're all the way over there, they're not going to have good ping. They're not going to be playing on proper servers, and they won't be able to give a realistic view on the game because since most of the servers are in the U.S. or they're not in Asia, they're in Europe. And unless they can play the game at like 30 ping or 40 ping, they actually really don't know how the game feels.
Well, that's a low restriction though. Like, oh, we don't have servers in Korea. Boom, soft layer, go. Look, we have a server. Like that's how all westernized games start before they expand. Like that's not what's gonna limit this game from going over to Smite or what's gonna go over to like Korea and Japan, Taiwan, China, everything. The only thing that's limiting it is them not doing it. It hasn't happened. Setting up servers over on the other side of the pond isn't a big deal. It just hasn't been done yet. It's not the most It's not the biggest expense they're gonna have. You call software. You say I need virtual servers. You put the server client on the virtual servers. Boom, you go. You move from there. Anyways, like I don't know. Like I really feel like I really hope that this game does expand to an international level. I feel like it can't just be a successful game if it's only limited to EU and NA. So I think it needs to grow past that. We'll have to see how they go from there or what they decide to do with it. What else was I gonna say? So we were talking about the new abilities that we kind of saw in the high res stream, and we were talking about one of them was an anti-healing debuff. Was that what it was?
Yes.
What do you guys think about that? I mean, holy hell! Like healing is so strong right now. We're getting something that's gonna make it not as strong.
The problem is that it's a 120-second cooldown.
So? That's an objective. That could be two objectives if you get two of them.
True.
Guys, you're being despicable. Come on. Despicable. Ridiculous.
That ability makes it so you can't heal in an area. And that's my understanding of it. Wolfie thinks it means something else, but honestly, when it's in an area, something like Fire Giant would be like one of the, I don't know, hardest fights, damn it.
No, I have to agree. Personally, I think it's gonna be like Creeping Curse too. By the way, type of debuff, but it's definitely gonna make Fire Giants a lot more fun to what's the word I'm looking for? Not infect. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, to fight at. Because you don't have hell like mass healing. You don't have Raw's AoE heal just owning people in the fight. I don't know. It's gonna make Fire Giant a lot more fun and less poopy.
Maddie, do you like the healing debuff, dude?
Yeah, I think it adds more diversity to the game. Plus, I hate hell a lot, so
Yep.
that's pretty good. No, like especially with the two ability slots, you know what I mean? People have to actually really think on what they're doing. So I think you'll see a lot of teams coming up with some like great combinations, like with the girdle and one person with the anti-heal and stuff like that. So I think it's kind of neat. More abilities equals more diversity in the game, and I always think that's great.
I gotcha. And talking about more abilities and diversity, we also saw that there's another healing ability, or not healing, damage ability coming up. And we just got a change for Girdle of Might, like it's AoE now, and it gives big damage boosts. Do you guys feel like we need another damage ability after Girdle of Might got that change?
Ignite.
Oh God!
God,
I would
why?
I would rage
No.
so hard if they brought that in the game.
Ugh. So you guys think it's a bad idea to add another damage ability?
We don't need one. There's no need for one. Absolutely none.
What about Flash?
Yeah, Flash, I could see it, yeah. I
Why?
could see Flash.
Why?
If you add a short range to Flash, it'll just give champions that don't seem viable right now, like Artemis, an extra edge in any game, like Artemis, Hebo, maybe, or whatever, and even it'll just give them like a double dash, like Wukong or something like that. I don't know. But honestly, it'll give high-res a lot more flexibility in their creation with their gaunts and their kits.
Rest in peace, Wolfie.
Rest in peace.
Oh,
And Wolfie was one of the people who backed me up on this, and now he's gone, so...
yeah. Well, Well,
You said F this, I'm out.
no Flash. Peace, ladies. Well, all right. Well, let's go back to what we were talking about in the pre-show real quick. Like we were watching the semifinals of League of Legends World Championship last night, and at 38 minutes there was 7 kills in a game. And a big reason was because out of the 10 people on the battlefield, 8 of them were running Flash, so they could disengage almost any time they wanted to. You don't feel like you don't feel like Flash would have the same effect on Smite?
Well, it's a double-edged sword. Like I feel like Flash could be the reason why the game is so passive, or why the game is so aggressive. Because you can, not only can you escape and get away from like fights with Flash, you can also engage lots of fights with Flash. Like Hero was saying, it gives other gods edges in team fights. Like you honestly only see like a handful of gods in like the top tier screenplay, and seeing other ones would, I think, be amazing. Because we want to run Artemis. There's only 2 ranged AD right now, and it's real easy just to get him out of the game in general. So we've been messing around with Artemis here and there,
Right.
and Flash with Artemis would make her totally viable, I think. Like I said, I think it goes both ways, passive or aggressive.
Yeah, I never even thought about Artemis. That's a good point. Because she's not even viable in competitive play. Even if babysat, there's so many gods that are picked nowadays that can just go, "Pop, see you later." So, giving her a flash might give your face, Fixie, on the stream is just
Well,
silly.
you guys all froze, so I'm trying to be like you guys. I don't know why everybody
Oh,
froze.
dude.
Yes.
Pop and lock, baby. Bam.
God, Skype is so trolly. And, like, Wolfie died, and the second he came back, everyone else was like, I'm frozen. Just hit the webcam button and bring it back up. Just disable and re-enable that
I'll do it in a
webcam.
sec. About to
All right,
munch beef.
I don't know, like, I like anything. Like, I'm really, I want to say I'm against it, but if, like, you guys are better players than me. Like, it's a blatantly obvious. And if you guys feel like Flash wouldn't make the game more passive, then maybe it's worth looking at. I would like to see it maybe tested for a little while. Maybe throw it on a couple of decent players and see if it's viable or if it just makes the game boring.
I think you're thinking about Flash in terms of Blink Dagger and whatchamacallit, and Flash from League of Legends. I'm thinking Flash more so like a push stick from Han, and push stick isn't really a flash to use over walls. It pushes you forward.
Right.
So it's another escape, and it's another item you buy, but it's not. You don't use it as. I'm not saying it's a habit so you leap over walls. They just need some way to be able to make gods who don't have mobility viable. So it'll give characters without mobility like Ymir a way to initiate fights better, or a character like Ares to initiate a fight better, or to get into position better, or even get out of, or just fix their mistake and get into a better position or run away. It gives people that opportunity to pick. It'll make Thor better. They won't have to change his one back to the way it was before, and they don't have to always worry about, does this character need a speed buff? Does this character need a leap? Does this character need a dash? No, they can give the guy 4 damage abilities with no mobility at all, but he has to buy Flash every single game or he's useless. He can't buy Creeping Curse. He can't buy that because you might need your beads. You might need your Aegis. You'll always need to buy Flash on it.
All right.
And
Ares.
it's good buy a change.
And Kevin, or Hero, I'm assuming you agree with that.
Yeah.
Good input, Maddie.
You're welcome.
We're still talking about Flash, right?
Yeah, we're still talking about Flash, man.
Yeah, well, like I said, double-edged sword, like, I know what Wolfie's saying, how every god might just run it because it's Flash, you know what I mean? But a lot of gods, like, have, dashes or jumps, might not even get it, so they can get something else totally, for the team, like the girdle, or the survivability with beads, or, Aegis. I don't think it's necessarily going to be something that you have to buy if it's in the game. Only if the guy doesn't have an escape. You know what I mean? That's probably the only way, or the only reason I would buy it.
I hear you, but like I just feel like it would be like exploited. Like I use this as an example in Dota 2. everyone buys a Blink Dagger. Everyone buys a Blink Dagger, and it just gets stale. Drew, your thoughts?
I love Blink Dagger, by the way.
Flash.
When I play Dota 2.
Flash.
Sorry, my face. I was looking at it and it was gross.
Hope it doesn't get stuck that way.
That might be an improvement. Anyway.
While I turn on my light, you give us your thoughts on Flash.
Okay, sure. How I think Flash
I agree, 100%.
Okay, no, seriously. I just hate Flash. I've hated it in League of Legends. I hate it all around, but I see it's where it could come in and be viable and stuff and whatnot. I gotta be serious before Fixit gets back on. Oh, shoot. But, I don't know, I just hate Flash. That's pretty much the end.
So you don't want to see it in Smite either?
Regardless of how useful it may be on some characters, absolutely not.
Flash, dude, Lassus doesn't want to see Flash and Girdle combo. That's just too much. No, that lasts.
Head explosions all over.
Why people mid go, all at once? Nope. Don't want.
Flash. You gotta think about man mode plays you can play with Flash ability. Imagine being able to like flash in as Agni and dash to their whole team, or flash in as House and shit on their team with some random AoE.
Flash into enemy fountain.
Mode.
Yeah, dude, you could do things in the fountain better.
You got something stuck in your teeth, Drew.
You mean I can Narnia in 5 seconds?
So good. Well, I don't know. Like, again, the game's in beta, so if there's gonna be any mistakes made in the game right now, like, they should definitely happen now. This is a wild idea, but you know what? Somebody was talking about a teleportation ability, like opening up a portal and bringing one other person through. I honestly think it's a horrible idea, but the fact that they want to try something new and exciting is cool, and this is definitely the time for it. What do you guys think of some sort of teleportation ability? Wolfie's busy. Hero, you first?
That's a garbage idea.
Yeah.
I'll just say it straight up.
Why?
Don't like it.
Why? Like, what do you think? How would it negatively impact the game?
Anything that relates to any sort of global ability like that, it'll just completely ruin the game. Especially something like a teleport, where you can just instantly be there and you can gank out the lane. And the problem is right now in this game, if you do that, you're snowballing the lane even harder, which, as we know already, if you snowball any lane right now, then it gets out of control.
Yeah.
And there's no way of coming back unless you're lucky or unless you just outplayed the lane completely. But you're just helping the snowball in that regard, so I don't agree with it at all.
I gotcha. Back to you, Wolfie. Remember in that post they were talking about possibly bringing some sort of teleportation ability, like opening up a portal and bringing one person with them? I raged and mumble about it. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts
I think
on
it's
that?
a terrible idea. Horrible. The worst idea I've ever seen in my life. It will pretty much advocate people split pushing all the time. It'll force people to actually grab teleport, because at any point in time you can go and do Fire Giant, or you can go and do something else. And it would just advocate way too many passive, boring plays. Like, we don't want split pushing to be the main idea for this game. It works in League of Legends because there is so many mobility moves and things for people to actually do that, so many ways to cross the map, etc. And there is that big jungle in League of Legends, but that jungle doesn't really exist in this game. There's no really my side of the map, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
There's two standalone jungles on the side, and they're really shared between both players. So if you can actually just push left lane and then teleport to right lane, or you can just push right lane and then teleport to Fire Giant, it's gonna cause way too much passive play. And that will really make people want to play passive and defensive.
Just sit under their tower and put us to sleep.
Yeah.
Maddie, I saw the eye roll and the head shake, man, when I brought up that teleportation ability. What are your thoughts, homie?
I think it's the greatest idea ever.
If they bring watermelons with them
into the enemy fountain and teleport a teammate there you hate to kill him is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my god, I would do it. I would just troll all day long with that thing. But no, on a serious note, I agree. 100%. Too much. The game's too passive as it is. We want a lot of action. People want to see action and kills and just everyone dying, crazy team fights, and being able to turn like say like you catch like 2 or 3 enemies like in the jungle out of position for them to be portaled out or their teammates to be portaled in to turn it to a 5v5 fair fight would be just total. Just it would be garbage. The game would, you know what I mean? Just I think it would fall apart.
I gotcha. Drew, do you like the teleportation idea, man?
The only reason I would put it in is to put Wolfie in the fountain. And
Exactly.
So, bad idea in general. Bad idea.
Bad
so
idea.
You're talking about probably promoting more passive play and definitely giving people the opportunity to troll super effing hard.
that's like giving me a bottle of sangria in an hour.
I got you. All right. Well, going
In a
back
chair.
in a chair. Oh, yeah. Oh, chair.
Jeez Louise.
Going back to something Hero said, or Hero and Wolfie actually both brought it up. The snowballiness of the game right now, like getting that early kill or that early double kill at the beginning of the game, it's almost game winning if you keep your mistakes down to a minimum. What if there is a way for you guys to change the game so it wouldn't be so snowbally? What do you think that would be, Justin or Wolfie?
I've got like 2 ideas.
I just want
have
one.
to float up over my head right now. Here's one of them. Lower the amount of gold you get for a freaking kill, and lower the amount of gold you get from early creeps. Lower that. Items are so cheap in this game. Coming back to lane with a full Heartseeker from 1 kill completely loses that lane. If you get those 60 stacks really early, they're screwed. You know, things like they need to lower the amount of gold you get, and they need to scale. The reason why you come out to the lane and they're level 5 or they're level 6, while you're level 3, is not because you're worth a lot of EXP. You're actually worth a little bit of EXP. Kills are worth a small amount of EXP. It's the creeps and it's the jungle. They're worth way too much. Too much. Scale those EXP on creeps down. Scale the gold you get from Gold Harpy down. Make it less so that instead of it being, bam, I got that early kill, now we win the whole entire game, we got this, easy as shit. It could be like, alright, well, they can still fight us, but we have the advantage. You know, that's what it needs to be. They need to still have the fighting chance and still be able to compete with you, not over the course of more than 1 kill. And I don't know. I think it could be solved with the same issue, the same thing that League did, scaling XP all around.
All right.
The creeps have levels, and they cap out at level 5.
Gotcha.
Easiest thing to do.
Cutting you off. Kev, or Hero, any idea on how to maybe bring down the level of snowballiness in Smite if you think it's a big issue right now?
I mean, it's such a huge issue that I would honestly take a week just to think about it. But honestly, like Wolfie said, it's the creeps. Creeps are a major issue right now. And I don't know. I think honestly, last hitting needs to be more important. So if you're just there and you're just clearing the wave and then you're going and getting jungle buffs, it shouldn't be like as beneficial as it is right now. And reduce the spawn times. Like, I suffer from that a lot, but honestly, like, reduce the spawn timer. We really need to reduce it.
Especially for you.
And yeah, especially for me. And learn from League of Legends. Just learn from it. That's all I gotta say.
I gotcha. Makes sense. Are you kind of on the same level with them, Maddie, or do you have a different idea or suggestion?
No, I agree with them. Like the jungle experience is really too high, especially since it doesn't scale. I just disagree on one point with Wolfie, and it was the gold harpy. You know, reducing the amount it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an objective on the map, and it should be worth the risk. You know what I mean? Like that's where a lot of fights go down, and that's where a lot of like action goes down. If I feel like if it was reduced, a lot of people, you know what I mean, it would just be just a bonus thing to grab after you win a team fight. Most team fights do occur there, so I like the high risk, you know, and reward from it. So I wouldn't lower the Gold Fury, but I agree on all other points. So
I gotcha. Drew, what do you think about the snowballiness in Smite right now? Is it an issue? And if you think it is, how would you change it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an issue. It gets quite annoying. I actually whine about it once in a while, like if I get behind because of some silliness. As far as buffs and stuff, Gold Fury, etc. go, hey, you know, we've mentioned this in actually last episode. They need to scale as the game progresses. I mean, as time goes on, they need to get stronger.
Sure.
as far as snowballing, God, people are gonna hate this idea, but what I loved about Dota is when you die, you lose gold. I loved it. That way, if you made a big boy play, you deserve the big boy play. You know, you couldn't just go, oh, well, I died. Oh, well, no biggie. This way you go, oh, crap, I can't play as retarded as Lasses most of the time and, be okay with it. So I think gold lost on death would actually be viable.
I could maybe see that. Like, it's an idea, like, playing well should definitely have its benefits, and making mistakes, you should definitely be punished for that. But I don't feel like taking away gold from somebody who dies is going to impact the snowballiness of the game. I feel like it might actually make the game more snowbally. Because if you've got one lane that's just feeding, you're going to have one or two gods that are just snowballing harder than anyone else on the other team possibly can. So I think that would negatively impact, what you're trying to do by taking away from that.
Timeout. Yes and no. Because one, people aren't going to be as aggressive, and if they are, like I said, they are going for that risk/reward type deal. And you got some guy, for example, maybe saving up for, an item that's 1,500 gold or 2K gold that they're saving up for, and you kill them. It's like, well, there goes a percentage of my gold. Crap, I just messed up. I'm just saying there's benefits to it. It's, as Maddie says early in the quote earlier tonight, it's a double-edged sword. There's benefits and there's, bads to it, obviously. The snowballing could be greater, but it also could help it. It's tough, man.
I can respect your opinion. We'll have to see. Go for it.
I have two sides of that. Now, he's right in one sense that it will help the snowballing issue. That's exactly why Dota and Han are more aggressive than League, because when you die, you kill someone else, you're lowering their gold. You're lowering their income. You can technically counter someone in Dota and Han by continuously lowering their income. You can't really do that in League or Smite at the moment. Now, it'll actually promote more aggressive play because there's more benefit to killing a god, and it's not from you getting items, it's from stopping them from getting items. Now, the problem with that is it will deter new players. It will deter new viewers. People don't like being punished like that. It's less fun for people to play. And that is why League is that's one of the reasons why League is so much more popular than Dota and Han, is because it's so fun for new people to play. They don't have those negative stabs in the back. Instead,
Agreed.
They made it so that you get more gold for more kills, or you get less gold in Dota, but you take away gold from them. That's why.
I see your point. I don't think the pros outweigh the cons in terms of a fast-paced game like Smite, though. We know there's no hard supports in Smite, but say you're running a god in a support capacity like, I don't know, let's say a Ymir. Like, Ymir, he can make big plays. He's a CC bot. He does great things. He has that wall. He has that freeze. He has that slow/nuke in his ultimate, which is, pseudo-viable in the beginning of the game. But he's not going to be somebody that's sitting there farming. He's a peeler. He's helping to keep people alive. And if that peeler is going to get focused, and if that peeler is doing his job as a support and keeping his carry alive, he is not going to be viable come mid or end game. And that's going to hurt people who don't play AD carries or AD range carries. So I feel like in Smite, a gold loss on death would be counterproductive. That's my opinion. But I understand where you guys are coming from. Hero or Maddie, did you guys have an opinion on gold loss on death?
Go ahead, Hero.
Okay. It wouldn't really fit Smite, in my opinion. If anything, we would be more behind. The person who gets killed over and over would be more behind because items just snowball like no tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But I had another thing to add.
Sure.
One of the things that they could do to combat such snowball is that something our team is guilty of, and it's by taking Fire Giant really early in the game, and we punish the other team for this so bad. I think something by watching that League of Legends tournament, it brings to my attention that you need the whole team to fight at Baron, and it takes you like a minute, if not more, to fight Baron. It gives the other team the ability to contest that fire giant, and it just adds a whole new like element to the game, in my opinion. So scale the objective mobs better, in my opinion. If Hi-Rez is listening, they
Yeah.
gotta do that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no respawns in real life, man. I wouldn't
Yo.
mind losing
Yeah,
gold.
but you run faster with a knife, dude. Maddie, what are your thoughts, homie? Gold Death on Loss, and any way you might think to change the snowballiness we have in Smite right now?
Just as a as a tank, I think it's terrible because I don't get very much money as it is, because I'm always buying wards or whatever whatever the case is, and I'm always the one going, as Herb Hammer says, YOLO in there. So
YOLO!
so as a tank, I think it would suck for me, but as a carry that is outplaying their lane, I think it's great for them because it just gives them more of the advantage. But the snowballing effect is an issue, and the mobs not scaling is a huge issue. And the 1 minute fights, like those are always the best. Like when you go into a team fight and you just wipe them all out in 10 seconds, that's just like, oh, we just wiped them out in 10 seconds, let's just win the game. Like the 1 minute, 2 minute long fights on objectives and stuff like that is what makes this game exciting. Like it's what makes me as a player, like playing against other teams of like the same skill. It's what makes it just fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess that's
I
my
agree,
standpoint on it.
No, and I agree wholeheartedly. Like, sorry, Wolfie, my turn. I feel like they need to. They definitely need to start letting these neutral creep camps scale. Like all the buffs, all the neutral camps, and Fire Giant and Harpy as well. And this is out of right field. One thing I would also like to see added to the map would be maybe take away the yellow buffs or any other buffs that we might just consider cooldown buff, screw cooldown buff, and just put neutral creep camps there for XP. For XP. It's something that's going to diversify the game, diversify the lanes, and let people choose how they want to go about getting that XP. And that's going to, again, it's adding an extra element. It's making mobility a true thing. And at that point, this is for you, Wolfie, at that point, when we have neutral camps and there's a different reason for people to go in the jungle other than buffs, I think Flash or an ability like that would be much more viable. Much more viable.
I have one thing to say for Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know he likes Dota. We have to remember Smite is a different game from Dota in the fact that there's actual roles for characters. There's no designated tank in Dota. There's no designated support character in Dota or carry character in Dota. They all get their damage from their main attribute, and they all can do stuff like that.
Right.
It's a little bit different in Smite, so you can't really use a Dota comparison. They're too different.
Right. I gotcha. Well, I hate to cut you guys off. Awesome in-depth conversation. But joining us now is LOL Coop. I'm going to give him a call real quick. And we're going to talk about Season 1 WOGL Smite and go over all the rules so there's no confusion. And then we'll even take some questions from all the peeps in chat regarding the tournament or anything we talked about as well. So let me get him in here real quick.
Who the hell is LOL Coop?
Coop. I was going to say,
God.
that troll.
Shut up, Reaper.
What's going on, Coop? How are you, man? You there?
What's up?
Hey, I'm a little hurt now.
Oh, so much BM. Let me fix this real quick. There we go. So, Coop, welcome to Mitterfeed. I heard you guys have a pretty cool event coming up regarding the game that we all know and love.
It is pretty cool. It's the first ever cash prize / hardware prize tournament, a season. People call it a tournament. It's a lot longer than that. So.
Yep. Do you have your webcam available, Coop?
I do, but I'm really sweaty, and as much as you guys want to
Let's turn
see
that
that,
off. That's fine.
I'll get sweaty for you.
Let's go, man.
Well, there's been a lot of confusion as to some of the rules for WOGL Season 1. If you have the time, would you like to go over the rules? And maybe as we're going over them, we can take some questions so that everything is clarified?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. I mean, if you can kind of guide me through it, because I can sit here and read all the rules, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to interrupt me if I'm explaining something. We want to get it clarified. I'll try and pay attention to chat as well
Sure.
for all you guys that have questions. So we'll start at the top, which is just the general rules of the season. Excuse me. It's going to be a 5v5 based season. It's going to be an 8-week season with one game being played per week.
Okay.
It's going to be draft mode, as everything, all the other tournaments have been so far, with one ban per team.
Okay.
The default time is something that's going to be new to a lot of people. Because it's an 8-week season and the teams are scheduling their own matches, which will be through a matchcom on the website. It's not going to be us deciding the matches for you. It's going to be you're going to contact each other, and you're going to say, hey guys, is 6 o'clock on Tuesday cool with you guys? If they say yes, the match is scheduled for 6 o'clock on Tuesday.
Okay.
Now, at that point, the default time is 8 p.m. North American and EU.
Sure.
If you guys can't come up with an agreement before Sunday at 8 p.m., that's the default time. You guys have to play at 8 p.m. on Sunday. Now, that's respective to both time zones because we're separating North American and EU for regular season.
Right.
So only EU teams will play each other and only North American teams will play each other. At that point, once you guys figure out the match, many of you who were in the tournament for this past preseason tournament recognize the chat system on our website. You're going to be using that again. You're going to create a chat room. The home team will, which I'll go into a little further. Home team will create a chat room, and in that chat room, you're going to do picks and bans. From there, the home team's going to create the match. Through challenge match, give the user in the other team information through the chat room, and then you'll go ahead and play your match.
Real quick to cut you off, I
Go ahead.
apologize. Who gets first pick, first ban? How's that work?
That I'm going to go into.
Okay.
That was all the basics of it. Now, to go into further, something for the tournament that was a huge misunderstanding was the picking and banning. We had originally set it for the higher seed gets first pick and the lower seed gets first ban. It was completely miscommunicated before the start of the tournament. So what we did this season was we changed it after getting all the feedback from a lot of the players that we've talked to. We've changed it to whoever is home team for the current week gets to pick whether they want first pick or first ban.
Okay.
So it's not going to be set in stone. It's going to be up to you to decide that.
And how is home team, away team determined?
At the start of the season, it's going to be determined on past tournament experience.
So seeding?
So, correct. It's
Okay.
going to be seeding. But, excuse me one moment.
Rest in peace, Coop.
Life aggro.
Oh, that's the worst.
Sorry about that.
That's all right, man.
So yeah, it's going to be based on seeding at the beginning of the season. As the weeks go on, once we get to about midway, 4th, 5th week, it's just going to be at random.
Okay.
So that's how those are worked out.
Gotcha.
Let me go through here.
How about I'll kind of guide you on the points that I think there might be some confusion.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I
Go
got
ahead.
a question. I got a question.
Go ahead.
It says I know that you guys took my advice that I had said. It said the home team may choose whether they want first pick or first ban. However, it says the home team chooses first pick, and the away team will get the first ban. This was something that was in the tournament that none of us wanted, so I don't know if it was a typo or confusion, but maybe this needs clarification.
That is a typo. It is.
Okay.
So it's first pick and first ban.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
Coop, thank you for the beers.
Oh.
No problem. You'll get many more.
Any other questions from you guys regarding the first line there about picks, bans, home team, so on and so forth? No? Okay, good. I'm going to try and guide you here. Coop, the streaming and the casting for WOGL, what are the plans and how's that going to work for rules?
Okay, so the streaming was a big topic. We talked about it with a lot of players, and we talked about it internally. The way we have it set right now is we have Shoutcast This as a media partner for the Season 1 championships. They're going to be doing streaming of at least one match per week for the season, playoffs, and then, of course, the finals. No player who is on a scheduled stream can stream their game.
Right.
So if Fixie or Shoutcast This is going to be casting a game and you're playing in that game for the week, you cannot cast. If
But-
you cast, there is a penalty. It's going to be a forfeit win and a 1 week ban for that player.
But if that game is not being casted by anybody from WOGL, if it's not being covered by WOGL on a stream, then the players are welcome to cast if they want to, right?
Correct. They can. We obviously have warnings set. Nothing is our fault if you lag, DDoS, anything that could happen. It's up to you if you stream. We're just going to put in the precautions out there.
Okay.
You just have to. We will have a schedule on the website that will say what matches will be casted a week in advance, so you'll have plenty of time to know that. Excuse me. As far as other organizations go, we're not. I want to clear up some misunderstanding here. We're not putting a monopoly on the streaming. We're not saying you cannot cast. We are, as a business, casting one match a week. If another organization that does casting as well wants to cast matches, who are we to stop them? We encourage it. That's the only way the game's going to grow. And that's the only way these teams are going to get covered. We can't cover everyone. So that's all I'm going to say about the streaming. Just make sure you read up on the rules, and that hopefully will clear it up for a lot of people.
Cool. I think that's fair. You guys are the ones running the event. You obviously want some media exposure as well. And I feel like if the teams are going to play in the event that you're putting up the prize money for, they should be willing to make a super small sacrifice, like maybe having 1 or 2 games during the season not being able to stream on their end. I think it's fair.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at esports in general, just to get away from the fair thing, it's sort of a standard for
Right.
esports.
Sure.
You look at the season, the League of Legends championships that are going on right now. If the whole TSM team was just streaming on their own, it would be a little wacky. And it's taking away viewers from... I mean, we certainly, because this game is so small and not at that point yet, we want you guys to grow your stream. We support your stream. I'm in there every day supporting your stream.
Sure.
But
Yeah, buddy.
it's just a standard at the moment, and in all honesty, we're getting you guys growth as well. We're doing a professionally cast stream of your game, so hopefully that'll give you more exposure than you're going to get just on your own.
Cool, man. No, I appreciate the explanation. I think that clarifies a lot. Do any of you guys or anybody in chat have any questions about the rules? I mean, Coop's right here. He's the one who's writing them. He's the one who's enforcing them. This is a great time to ask them.
I love Coop.
I think there's
not
another typo maybe, like it says under playoffs. Playoffs are single elimination. If a team loses, that team will be into the losers playoffs. So is it double elimination or?
The way that it is double elimination, I had actually... Yes, it is a typo. Something that we had changed recently was it was going to be a best of 3 in the playoffs, and we changed that to a best of 1. So that was the intention there. It's going to be double elim for a loser's bracket, but there is no longer a best of 3 in the playoffs.
What about finals?
Okay.
Finals will be a best of 3.
All right.
Can I ask why there's no best of 3 for the regular games?
For the playoffs, because this is our first season, and we're testing a lot of things, seeing how all the format's going to go, especially with the casting. We're going to have a busy casting schedule. Playoffs are sort of supposed to be a heavy grind, and you're supposed to, if you make it to the finals, you're supposed to be the best. You're supposed to just knock out those teams. Having 3 games in one night just for playoffs seemed a little tedious, but we can obviously go back to that and explore it for another season if we get the call to do that.
All right. Couple questions from chat. What is the limit to call a remake if a player gets DC'd in the first 5 minutes, or what happens if somebody gets DDoS or disconnect or an internet outage? How do you guys plan on handling that?
If someone DCs at the God selection screen, game loading screen, or before creep spawn / first blood, the game's going to be restarted. The players have to do that on their own. If a team refuses to absolutely restart and it's before that time, just go ahead and file a dispute and we'll take care of that.
What about after that?
After that, if a player DCs after the 5 minutes or first blood, then the game's to be played out. He can still reconnect at that point, but only that player. No ringers.
Gotcha. All right. No ringers. And you're allowed up to how many people on your roster in WOGL?
8.
8.
Now to go further into the rosters, if you don't mind, The roster restrictions, they're going to lock on the 27th, which
Okay.
is the night before the actual season starts.
Mhm.
Every week, there's going to be one day, and that day is yet to be determined, on a roster unlock day. Let's say it's Thursday, for example, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Rosters will be unlocked for 2 hours. During those 2 hours, teams will be able to make changes to their roster. If someone dropped, if someone can't play that week, they can add another person onto the roster, as long as they're qualified to, if they're not banned, all those precautions. After those 2 hours are up, they're going to lock again, and they'll be locked until the following week.
Gotcha. All right, makes sense. Do we have any more questions on the rules? I think what I want to... Go ahead, Hero. Was that a hand raise, or are you just doing the whole arm around
No,
your girlfriend
well,
at the movie thing?
Well,
Where's
no,
the
like
beach?
I got concerns, like maybe like a best out of 3 single elimination would be better than a best out of 1 double elim. I don't. That's just my opinion, but I don't know. It's fine.
I don't like single elimination or best of 1. I like standard best of 3 double elimination. Anything can go wrong. It's important for a team to know how to adapt, and best of 1 does not allow a team to adapt.
Okay.
It's
And-
I don't know.
And last is knowledge bomb here. Not to mention, if you only do 1 game a week, I don't see any harm in the best of 3.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, what we wanted to do was, because it's playoffs and because you're only playing 1 match a week, right now we're used to the tournament format where it's just like, okay, it's Sunday, boom, 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 tournament gone at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. You play from 1 till 6, and that tournament's gone. Because you're scheduling your own matches, and we're going to have several different games going on at one time, we didn't want to push finals into a best of 5, because if the games did go to an average length of 45 minutes, it's about 5 hours of game time, especially with the breaks and everything. We didn't want to go best of 5 this route or that route this early for our first season, so we wanted to differentiate between the finals and the playoffs. We didn't want people to feel that they were playing finals when they're only in the playoffs. Yes, it does push for more competitive play and more exciting play. But again, we're trying a lot of things out. It's our first season. It's something that we can revisit. And if we get enough calling like you guys are saying right now, if we get that, we'll certainly change it.
Okay, so these aren't set in stone yet. You're still tinkering and doing some internal discussion still.
Right.
Okay, cool.
A lot of them are, but there's certain things here and there that we will tweak.
I gotcha. Understand. What I want to do now is I want to open up. I'm going to give you guys my Skype information. If you have a question for anybody on stream right now, Wolfie, Maddie, Lassie's, Hero, me, or Coop, you're welcome to call in. I'm going to take 3 calls, and then we're going to have to get off because it's getting a little bit late. So add me on Skype. Let me know what your question is first, and your invitation, and then we'll try to get you guys on. We're a little pressed for time, so we can't do as many calls as I want to, but we'll get a little. We'll try and get a couple in. Oh man, Kevin, you're Hero. You're incapacitating all the viewers with your beauty.
Am I?
Between your beauty and the Ash Ketchum hat, bro, I don't know.
You are pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby.
Hey, Coop, are there going to be admins or officials?
Of course. We're going to have, I don't know exactly the number, but we're going to have plenty of officials during the week. Anybody who's going to play in this season needs to read up on the dispute section of the rules, because that's where the officials and admins are going to come into play.
Gotcha.
So,
All right, well, that makes sense. Still waiting. No calls yet. That's okay. If I don't get any calls, I'll just say screw you guys. It's time to leave. I don't care.
Can I call?
Yes.
Ring!
Hello? Banana phone?
A ring, 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 ring.
What,
ring,
Heroes there?
banana phone. Coop, I love you. Thank you for the beers. Cheers.
no problem.
Wow.
I do want to add, I mean, we love your feedback, and anybody, even in chat, but particularly you guys here in the call. We love your feedback, and we want it. We want to keep getting it. But I mean, how are you guys excited for it? Is there anything good that we've done so far?
Well,
So we want to hear that stuff too.
bro, come on. I mean,
Hosting the tournament, I mean, it's great.
Wow.
a
Yeah.
cash prize tournament for a game that's in beta that we all know and love. I think that's an awesome first step for this game, dude. Like it's awesome.
You're showing faith in the
Voice-crackingly
game,
awesome.
man.
Yeah.
We're just grateful. We have nothing to say but say thank you.
We wouldn't be concerned if we didn't like it.
Yeah.
If it bothered us, we'd just ignore it. You know, if we didn't think it was good for the community, we wouldn't put the time and effort to even give you a response. But as you can see, we are passionate about it, and we do give you the responses, and we are here. It's because it's actually really good, and we want it to be as the best it possibly can be.
Yeah.
Right, and we thank you guys for that. But I've yet to hear from Maddie, so.
He's busy eating watermelon.
Oh, I
I
got
think
contact request. Go ahead, Matt.
Like I said, it's great for the community. It's great for the game, and of course it's gonna help it grow. Honestly, the only thing I don't like about it is the best of one. You know what I mean? Like, I think the competition lies where you may lose the game, right? But then you talk with your team, you come up with a great counter strategy, and you come back and you win both games in a row. Like stuff like that is amazing. People like watching that. Like I said, I know it's season 1 for you guys, and you're just going off your little like the way you guys run tourneys. But you know what I mean, as a player and as like being on like a top tier team, in my opinion, like I just want these great games and being able to like counter strategize and do comebacks and stuff like that. It's just it's derp derp derp. It's exciting to watch and exciting to play.
It's good stuff. We do have a question from Red Alrimer. I'm gonna bring him in real quick. It's a question regarding Ares, so let's add him to the call real quick.
Oh, this is all Wolfie. This is all Wolfie.
Oh god.
Yo, I might even unleash Wolfie here. You know what? Hey, Red, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello. Oh, thank you for having me, guys.
Sure. What's your question, bro?
So my question is regarding Ares, since especially I saw Wolfie play him a lot.
Sorry. Continue.
So my question is, do you think this has been brought up a few times, like in the forums and in other podcasts and whatnot? Ares, what do you think about Ares doing magical damage, and would it be better if he did physical damage, like with his current kit?
Oh, you went there.
Get him, Wolfie.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I
Go
went
ahead.
there.
Go ahead, Wolfie. Get him.
Yes. He would be way better physical. His skills would work together more. His 1 would be better with physical damage. He actually auto attacks when he chases. His 3 is a piece of shit, and his 2 is a physical carries ability. To be honest, he's just
Wow!
Sucks! He's good against bad players though. When they're bad players and they don't really know how to counter you and they don't know what's happening and they don't buy beads and they don't do those things, he really, really, really shits on bad players. He's probably, I'd put him up there with Kali in that he pub stomps harder than most characters. It's what he does. He's not very good at anything else. Anyone who knows how to play against him will shit on him before level 5.
Wow. All right. Does that answer your question there, Red?
Basically it does, yes. Because I've been thinking, would he be too strong with his scaling and his auto attack and whatnot if he were physical? But
I gotcha. Well,
You also remember when you're physical damage, you actually get less overall physical power than magic power. So with his scaling and the way it is now, you'd have less damage overall going towards physical. You'd just be able to auto attack more. How many times do you see a physical carry end with over 200 physical power without having Fire Giant?
right. No,
His kid needs a rework if you're gonna do that. If you're gonna change him into physical, he needs a new kit.
awesome. Well, thanks so much for calling, Red. I appreciate that, man.
yeah, thanks for having me, and you guys have a good show.
Thanks, Red. Heart you. Awesome. Real quick before we wrap it up, this is supposed to be the section where we do our man mode moment. Unfortunately, we only got one video submission. So until we get at least 5 for last to decide which one is bigger, we can't really do a giveaway. So
Yours
next
is
week,
bigger.
It's always bigger. Next week, instead of doing a $25 gift certificate,
You talking about your gut?
we're going. Oh, BM!
Oh.
Batman,
We're gonna
na,
do
na, na,
50.
na, na, na.
We're gonna do a $50 gift card. It's gonna carry over, and the one person that did take the clip and did submit it will be automatically entered into next week's. And because he did take the time to submit the clip, I am gonna play it for him. It was Mr. Zapman. Let me get that up real quick, and we'll play it, and then we'll
Man mode!
Yes, that. Here we go. Here's the man mode. Mute that, I guess. Well, whatever. Here it goes.
Warning deep in their mid. Mid is dashed.
Yeah, I mean, unless you can get on him.
He saw me. He saw me.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We're here as well. I got really good word.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty manly. That was pretty manly.
That was pretty manly. I got to give it to him.
Yeah. So he's automatically entered for next week. He will be up for a $50 Amazon gift card. I'm sorry we didn't get all the viewers we needed to, or all the submissions we needed to do in this week. But I mean, we'll keep growing until we get those submissions. Send them to Lacis on Twitch. Send them to me on Twitch. Respond to the thread on the forums, or send me an email, which is Daniel at reason-gaming.com, and then we'll give them all to last. And this time next week, we will have a winner with a $50 Amazon gift card, and we will do it every week. And that is our man mode moment. Drew, I think we need a man mode.
Man mode!
Awesome. That's basically all the time we have today, unfortunately. Join us next week for episode 3 of Mid or Feed at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same time every week. We'll have another awful intro video for you. Thank you guys so much for showing up. It was great. For Wolfie, Maddie, Mr. Cooper from WOGL, Hero, GG, and Lacis, we love all of you. Love, peace, and chicken grease. We are out.
Adios!